Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah. Smarterfan.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports, business, and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. How you doing, Barry?
I'm feeling good, Joe. I don't know why you're talking like you just drank some Metamucil.
Hey,
But I'm feeling good, baby. Come on, man. Come on, man.
hey,
I know
I'm all
you'll
right.
call up and do. Yeah, all right, come on, man. Man, I'm gonna talk to your wife, man. Send you. I don't know what's going on with you. You've been kind of not yourself. Come on, now. I know
Yeah,
Buffalo lost. I know Lamar lost, but it all is
yeah,
not lost, my brother. Come
yeah.
on now.
Well, that's why I'm going for KC.
That's
So
right.
I'm
That's
going for
right.
KC. You know, so
Go on.
go
What you got to
Chiefs.
say? What you got to say? I know you got something to say tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about your boy Lewis Hamilton. Now, he,
That's my guy.
yeah, and he just made an announcement that he's going to Ferrari. So
Yeah.
he had a 2-year deal with Mercedes, but he had a clause where he could opt out. So
Mm-hmm.
24 is going to be his last year at Mercedes, and then 25 he's going to start racing for Ferrari. And he said leaving Mercedes was one of the hardest decisions he had to make. But hey, he's going with Ferrari. He signed a multi-year deal with them,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's like it's a pairing of you got the biggest name in racing going with the most famous team. So
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, and I know had to be going through his mind too. If he gets his 8th championship with Ferrari, that's going to cement his legacy, and that's going to bring Ferrari back to the forefront.
That's why they did it, Joe.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Because
Yeah.
Ferrari has had Formula One is my sport. I like Formula
Mhm.
One more than I like football, right?
Mhm.
I'm really into Formula One, right? So
Mhm.
Ferrari has struggled since they lost Schumacher. They haven't really been in the
Yes.
win circle since Schumacher left or retired. And
Right.
so the only one who can really bring them back is someone like
Mhm.
Lewis Hamilton, and surrounding him with a team who knows what they're doing to
Mhm.
bring back the mystique of Ferrari. So, you know, Ferrari understood that.
Mhm.
Hamilton is a smart guy, understood that. And because there was nothing, I mean, they were taking very good care of him at Mercedes and he was winning.
Yeah.
And so, but he understood that, yeah, you win with Mercedes, but when you win with, like you said, at Ferrari, it's different, bro.
Oh
It's
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
different. You pretty much walk on water. You pretty much
That's for
walk on water.
sure.
Yeah.
And the
'Cause
thing
this
about
is
it is,
mhm.
yeah, well, the rumors have been swirling for years about him talking to Ferrari, but he kept playing it off. So
You
so
set him up.
finally it's going to be reality. And if he pulls off another championship, he'll be the first driver to win with 3 different teams since 1957. So,
Like you said, history. He's there to make history. So cement himself, and that's something that no one else has ever done.
yeah. Yeah.
And so, absolutely, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be
Yes.
very exciting.
He's going to replace Carlos Sainz, and he's going to team up with Charles Leclerc. So, they're hoping that they'll make quite the team. And besides him, being the biggest, he has the biggest global appeal. So it's just going to bring attention to Ferrari one way or the other. So
Yeah, that's going to be very fun to watch in 25. I got so much to talk about. I think I'm all going all the way up to Boulder. I'm going all the way
Mm-hmm.
up to Boulder, and what Coach Prime is doing, which is very, very exciting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's interesting to see the change of attitude and the players and how they're pushing. He's really getting them to that place where they can forge and be a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really, somebody said to me, "This is like, there's all this going on in Boulder." I said, "Boulder's not for everybody. Just like Alabama's not for everybody. LSU is not for everybody. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Colorado is a place now that if you're not a guy who can handle the shine or wants to shine, it's not for you, player or coach. It's not that kind of place,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an important part of it. If you've got kids who want to go there, because you're going to get a lot of shine, you're going to get a lot of scouts, you're going to get a look. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not ready for that, that's not the place for you. You know what I mean? If you don't want that.
Yeah.
And I think what Coach Prime is solidifying is that kind of kid for his program. You know what I mean? Because he's
Mm-hmm.
producing them in his sons. He's Travis. There's other kid. You know what I'm saying? That are like, oh, that's the product. That's the
Mm-hmm.
product. You know what I mean? And Weaver, who was there, and so it's starting to really, really gel. So
Yeah.
it's interesting
Well.
that what's going on in Colorado. I'm actually looking at my calendar to see. I'm gonna have to get out there. I'm gonna have to fly out there, Joe. I'm gonna have
Mm.
to get out to Colorado. I'm gonna have to get in that stadium. I'm gonna have to
It's a
feel that
nice
energy.
place.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to feel my. I'm gonna have to feel my. Put my blenders on. Have my Joe Namath fur coat on, and yeah. I'm gonna have to get out there to Colorado, my friend.
Yeah.
So what you got? I'm gonna throw it back to you.
Well, you had touched on mental health a while back regarding athletes, and the National Hockey League has what they call a players assistance program that they
Mm-hmm.
established. Between with they joined this venture with the players union and the NHL, and
Mm-hmm.
it's for players who have problems with substance abuse and mental health issues, and it's for their families also, and they also
Mm-hmm.
have a mental health hotline that they can call and talk to professionals,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a I don't know if other sports do this, but I think this is a really good thing for them, and it's strictly confidential and it's strictly voluntary. But
Mm-hmm.
I've seen players already taking advantage of it, and
Yeah.
it's helping a lot, because this is a tough issue, mental health, you know, especially with the
Yeah. There's so
pressures
many
of sports these
pressures.
days. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I had somebody
and
say to me, "Go ahead. I'm sorry."
mhm. Go ahead.
No, someone said to me, "What kind of pressure could these athletes be under? They make millions of dollars. That's the pressure." And
Mm,
they were like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Can you imagine if your salary was posted for all the world to see? It ain't like you can't say. It's not like you can say I ain't got it. You just saw me sign for
right.
87 million,
Yeah,
and
right.
what that causes amongst your family, your friends, and everybody looking at you as a meal ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And having to live with that every day. Like, is this
Shit.
person talking to me to talk to me, or are they talking to me to get something from me? That's stressful, bro.
Hmm.
That's stressful when people are looking at you like you're God. You can solve their problem. You can fix their world. That's a lot of pressure. It's
Yeah,
stressful. You know what I
it
mean? It's
is.
very
It
stressful.
is.
So
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well,
Hmm.
it brings me to this issue. It was this hockey player, Adam Johnson, who died in a game when he took a skate to the neck and he bled out, and the team had to get grief counselors, you know, and
Yeah.
USA Hockey put out a mandate that's going to be start in August, stating that players under 18 in the junior leagues have to wear neck laceration protection. So they're going to
Yeah.
mandate it. Yeah. So because this has been something that's happened on a couple of occasions. And I don't know if you remember in 1989, the goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, Clint Malarchuck, he took a skate to the juggler. And
Mm.
he was very fortunate because the team, the medical trainer for the team, he was a Vietnam vet and he was a medic in Vietnam. So he knew exactly what to do and he saved his life.
Wow.
But after years after that, he suffered from PTSD, and he didn't have this kind of program to help him.
Mm.
And they didn't diagnose him with PTSD until after he tried to commit suicide. So,
Mm-hmm.
this is it's a serious issue.
I've always been a big proponent also of allowing players to continue to be around the team because it's a very serious and hard readjustment back into quote unquote civilian life, and it takes time. It takes time for the body. It takes time for the mind. I mean, you've been doing something. I was watching Gilbert Arenas, and the guy's talking about the transition from playing to not playing. And I think that's a big part of the mental health issue with athletes, because they were saying some guys start eating, some guys start doing all kinds of stuff, because think about it, if you've been playing since you've been 8 years old and your identity has been as a basketball player, then all of a sudden it ends.
Yeah.
Sometimes willfully, sometimes because of injury, sometimes because the franchise doesn't want you anymore, or you're too expensive. That's the other thing people don't understand. You can get too expensive for a franchise. So it's a very fine line, because you're trying to make as much money as you can, but oftentimes it's strange. You can almost price yourself out. It's a really weird balance. But I think that teams should allow players to still can be connected to the facility and connected in some capacity to help them as part of their transition. Because it's very hard, man. I mean, I tell people all the time, it's a different kind of feeling to hear 80,000 people scream your name.
Okay, now I want to talk about a man that I met on a couple of occasions, and that was Captain Lou Albano. Okay, he was born in Italy, but he was raised in Mount Vernon, and his mother was a concert pianist, and his father was the doctor. And he went to Archbishop Stepinac High School, and he was a track star, and he was also captain of the football team. So, he went to the University of Tennessee, but college didn't agree with him. So he started training as a boxer. And Lou Duva had introduced him to a boxing promoter. And the boxing promoter suggested that he try wrestling. So he did that, and he was billed as the Mount Vernon Mauler. He was from Mount Vernon, New York. And he did that from 53 to 69, but he wasn't really that good at it. So in 70, Bruno Sammartino suggested to Vince McMahon Sr. that he should go into managing, and being the mouthpiece for the wrestlers. And he did that, and it turns out he was very good at it. And he became the top heel manager in the industry. And he he managed Ivan Koloff, and one night at the Garden, he fought Sammartino, and he beat Sammartino, and Albano got the crowd so riled up that he started a riot. So, and they barely got out of there. But then he was on a plane ride with Cyndi Lauper it was a chance meeting, and that started what they call the Rock and Roll Connection, and that set the stage for the very first WrestleMania that was at Madison Square Garden. And I remember I went to WCC to watch that because it was at the Garden, but they had it on closed circuit TV at in the field house at WCC. So I actually saw it, and I actually have I still have the program from it. That
Mm,
was back in
mm,
'87. So, but I had the pleasure of my family and I when we lived in Carmel. I had the pleasure of having dinner with him and his family. We
oh
were
wow.
in, yeah, we were in this restaurant called Smalley's, and it was really strange because the back room of the restaurant was empty, and the waitress, she sat us back there, and next thing we knew, he came in with his whole family, and they took up the whole room. So, you know, and so we had dinner with them, and very nice, man, very nice. I couldn't have met a nicer family. They were
Mm,
just so sweet and so kind and everything. And it
mm.
was just it was just a great time. It's an experience I will never forget. You know.
Yeah, yeah, you're notorious for these experiences. Notorious. Notorious. So real quick here, Shannon
Hmm.
Sharpe has done an impressive job of course, being on with Skip and going through that, and then being over at CPS before that, and then
Mm,
creating his own product and show, Shay Shay, and doing some incredible. I don't even call it
mm,
sports journalism. I call it social media journalism, and it's just amazing
okay.
to watch Uncle Shay Shay do his thing. And
Mm,
they got into an interesting conversation about Lamar, and well, before Lamar, he got into a very interesting conversation with Cam. So
mhm,
Cam had him on his show, and Cam was trying to explain, why you so hard on me. I've made some adjustments, and Shannon handled it very well by saying, in order to be what you want to be, it's up to you, Cam.
mhm,
And are you willing? This was the key point. Are you willing to make the sacrifices at this point? You just had another baby. You got a lot going on. Are you
mhm,
really willing to make the level of sacrifice to perform at the level you have to perform for these
mm.
teams? And ultimately, the only person who can really answer that is you, Cam. And it was so
Yeah,
well handled. And I think it was
yeah,
straight, mature conversation for Cam to really weigh out, that, hey,
yeah.
man, you're not 21, 22 years old. You're in your 30s, and it's going to require a level of sacrifice. And you've been living a particular lifestyle that you don't have to sacrifice like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So you got to really
Yeah.
want it. So it was a very, very good conversation. And then really, my last 2 points about the Lamar and the Chiefs is it's really simple. With
Hmm.
the Chiefs, people forget Andy spent a lot of time in the wilderness, a lot of time,
Mm,
before getting to this level, and it's just part of the process. And Lamar and the Ravens will have to go through their process,
hmm.
and the Ravens are not far, but they got the tools. They just, as I say, really just got out coached. To tell you the quite honest truth, they got out
Yeah.
coached. It's not really Mahomes is that much better, and no, they really they have comparable pieces. So when you really look at it through my lens, is that they got out coached,
But they
and
didn't
that's
play their game. They didn't play
that's
their
why.
game.
All right, okay, all right. That's why I said they got out
Yeah.
coached.
Yeah.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
If we're coaching and I out coach you and get you to do what you don't do well, I out coached
Mm,
you.
mm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
it works. You get on the
Yeah.
floor with Jordan and the triangle offense and Phil Jackson, I outcoached you if you have a comparable team. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, my good friend,
Yeah.
that's what I got for you tonight. That's what I got. This was exciting. I'm excited to hear about my man Hamilton. I'm here excited to hear about all the things that are going on in sports. There's a
Yeah.
lot we didn't touch. There's a lot coming, And man, is it ever exciting in the world of sports.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So,
it is.
Smarterfan family, we'll be back and we'll be looking for you. And so, as we always say, stay in the game. Talk to you next week, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.
Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah.